Hey, what's up guys? It seems like a while I've done one of these videos because my last video was a morning routine, so I wasn't standing in front of the camera. It was more like a movement video, more like a vlog type video. So I'm happy to be back behind the camera this week, and I'm going to be talking about synchronicities. I'm sure a lot of you heard about synchronicities, or you know what synchronicity is. You know, when you think of a friend and then that friend call you. I like to refer to synchronicities as the natural occurrences of the universe when you're operated from a higher frequency, and sometimes we tap into this frequency unconsciously, where people call it coincidences or it was just random. And I am here to tell you that there are no coincidences. Everything is organized, everything is orchestrated long before it happens, long before you see the physical evidence of it. It was created a long time ago, and you were bound to tap into that frequency and see that particular event or thing. And I want to share 3 of my synchronicities with you guys because I love synchronicities. I just love when they happen. They just reaffirm how powerful I am and the power we have to create, and that every moment is created by us, by our beliefs. So earlier this year I was looking at a building in Miami called 50. It's a luxury condo building. I was online and I was looking at this building, and I was looking at all the amenities, I was looking at the prices, I was looking at everything, the beautiful views, because a luxury condo is something I am manifesting now in my experiences. So, you know, I'm tuned into that vibration, and one of the things I do is look at the website. And this particular, I looked at a few buildings, but for some reason this particular week I was tuned into the building called 50. And then 2 weeks later, it was my fiance's birthday, and we went out to eat. And after we went out to eat, we went to the park. It was a chilly day, so he decided to go to the store to buy some hot chocolate, and he left me at the park. So I realized that he was taking a while. So about 30 minutes later, he returned with an old friend, a lady friend we knew from meetings we used to go to in the past. She came over and we were so happy to see each other. We was like, hey, long time, we haven't seen you in a long time. And she was like, what are you guys doing here? Would you guys love to come to my apartment building? And we never knew where she lived because every time we seen her, it was at a meeting. So we never went to her house, or she never told us where she lived in the past. So right behind us was the building 50, and she pointed at it. She was like, hey, I live up there at 50, the exact same building I was looking at 2 weeks ago and reading the reviews for and checking it out and everything. And she invited us up to the amenity deck. We sat by the pool and we talked and talked for about an hour or 2, and it's so amazing what she said, because she was like, hey, this is a beautiful building. If you guys would like to live here, all you have to do is visualize and see yourself living here. I was so amazed by that, because manifesting a luxury condo is something that is on my vision board. So that was one of my synchronicities that I love so much. And the second synchronicity that I absolutely love is when I met a female from the Abraham Hicks group. There was a post in the Abraham Hicks group where we had to put where we live. Everyone was introducing themselves, and we put the city that we lived in. And she realized that she lived in Miami, and she was like, hey, I've seen your post in the Abraham Hicks group. I'm in Miami too. Would you love to meet up? And so we organized a meetup, and we met up at a random coffee shop, and we were talking about positive thinking, about Abraham Hicks, visualization, you know, I was sharing my manifestation stories and about synchronicities, and just giving her introduction, because she was fairly new to positive thinking and law of attraction and all of that, and she wanted to learn more. And we were just talking, and then she was sitting with her back facing the wall, and I was, you know, my face was facing the wall. I can see the wall, and I realized there was a painting on the wall, and I kept looking up, and I'm like, you know, it kept catching my attention. I wanted to give my attention to her while I was talking. So, you know, I just gave it. I say, okay, let me look up, what is this? And I realized the secret logo was on the picture. And when I looked further, I realized that it was actually pages from The Secret. It was 3 pages attached to the painting from The Secret book, and I'm like, isn't that The Secret book? And I showed her, because we sitting here talking about law of attraction and about how we create our reality, and here it is. It was a perfect demonstration to how we create our reality. And you know, she was very impressed. She was like, wow, I always come to this coffee shop and I never seen those. I never tuned into that. I never noticed that. And that was so incredible, just meeting up with someone to discuss the very topic of law of attraction, positive thinking. And there it is, the biggest book on law of attraction and positive thinking is on the wall right in front of us. So that is the second one. The third and final one, I have a lot of synchronicity stories, but I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm only sharing 3 today. And the third one is when my fiance and I decided to go out. We took the train, but I got off at an earlier stop because I was going to visit my brother and my mom, and he was going somewhere else. So he got off at a later stop than me. So I got off the train first, and you know, we said goodbye, and we didn't have a set time to meet up with each other or to meet back up or anything. We just was like, okay, I'll see you later when we get back home. And I stayed there at my mom and brother's house for 8 hours. My fiance and I didn't communicate during this time or anything. It was so amazing. So I was there for 8 hours, and you know how synchronicities are. You just happen to leave at the right time or do the right thing at the right time, and you can't explain why you chose that particular time. It just naturally happened like that. So when I got back on the train after 8 hours, he was on the train, and he was like, I was looking out the window and I realized you were getting on the train. So he came up to sit by me, and I was so surprised because here it is, an 8-hour lapse with no communication in between, no set time to meet back up, and we met back up on the same train. It was just so amazing. That is how synchronicities are. They just bring me so much joy, and they just happen so naturally. Like, you can't explain it, why you decided to turn your head. Like, it almost seems like you're being controlled by something else outside of yourself to do a particular thing at a particular time. But that is how organized physical reality is. Everything is an orchestration, everything is vibrational before it becomes physical. And there are no coincidences, everything is alignment. And living at this higher frequency, the more I raise my vibrational frequency, the more synchronicities I have. Like, I cannot lie to you, I have like multiple synchronicities a day. I cannot even keep up with them, keep count with them. They have just become a regular part of life. Like, it's like, okay, I was expecting that, you know. I expect whatever I'm giving my attention to, I expect it to be reflected in my reality. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to share this week. Do you guys have any synchronicity stories? I would love to hear them. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.